So here we are, the last day of 2018. In today's video, I want to do something which I haven't done in 2 years, to be precise. The last time I'd done this was at the end of 2016, back when MZK didn't cover No Man's Sky, back before he was slightly more creative and less scripted and all of that kind of shit. So today, I feel like it'd be right, considering it is the final day of 2018, to round up the year in a much more informal way. Some of you may indeed remember this, some of you may not. But today we're going to be looking at the year, looking about what's good about it, what was bad about it, giving my opinions and all of that stuff which you can expect to go with it. So I feel like it's only right to start off with the good, because I won't lie to you, 2018 was a pretty damn good year for a lot of different reasons. But of course, if we first start off talking about No Man's Sky, 2018 was an excellent year for No Man's Sky, mostly because of the next update which we received in summer of 2018. I will discuss summer very soon, because that is a whole other point. But next obviously gave No Man's Sky the breath of fresh air that it needed. It somewhat revived the game for a short period of time. It was really highly played on Steam. People were making updated reviews about it, people were playing it again, bigger YouTubers were covering it and things like that. So next did wonders for No Man's Sky. That popularity does still exist to this day, but on a lesser extent. But of course, it's not just next. It was also how Hello Games have changed their way of developing the game. They're now a lot more vocal. They now release very frequent small updates and of course community events and all of that stuff. No Man's Sky in 2018 was something which not a lot of people expected to hear about, but probably did hear about a fair amount. And honestly, I'm so glad that this actually happened, because it was long overdue that the game got a little bit more famous, I guess you could say. And of course, with this being a gaming channel, we do have to talk about the games. The games were, I would say, very strong in 2018. Prime example would be Red Dead Redemption 2. I have never played a game with such immense amount of detail, such amazing story, writing, visuals, audio, you name it. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a near enough perfect game. And I don't give a shit if you want to say it's overrated or if it's too realistic to the point where you have to simulate picking up canned peaches off shelves, because it deserves the credit it gets. The original Red Dead was one of my favourite games. I had a lot of really good memories associated with it, particularly with when it came out, and I remember I got it for my birthday. I remember that in summer, playing the original Red Dead, family coming over for the birthday and all of that, you know, really nice memories. And Red Dead 2 somehow topped that experience even more. Not quite sure how it happened, but it did. In general, Red Dead 2 was the only game which I really played that was current. I didn't really play any other ones. No Man's Sky, Red Dead 2, Rocket League, the standard shit which I always play. But it was a great year for games, there is no doubt about that. And of course, one thing which I cannot skip is the channel. 2018 recently was a very good year for this YouTube channel. Specifically Visions. Visions gave me a lot to talk about. It also allowed me to make that video which somehow got something like 230,000 views or some bollocks like that, which in turn gave me a lovely bit of growth, you know, some subs, some more interaction, of course the lovely YouTube monies. But in general, 2018 was a pretty damn good year, especially with Next. There was a lot of content to cover in terms of YouTube, and I feel like a lot of content creators also started flourishing. Seemed like more people were getting comfortable, we're getting a lot closer together as a community. And in general, I just think YouTube was particularly fun this year. It most definitely was, in terms of No Man's Sky and this channel and other channels in the community. Elsewhere, that's a different fucking story, because I haven't even written down anything about Rewind or the state of YouTube in 2018. Because you know what? I don't want to talk about that. We don't have to talk about that. We're going to ignore that. Minus Rewind and just how shit YouTube was this year. For me and for a lot of other people in the community, it was really damn good. So let's keep it optimistic. The final good thing which I do want to touch on is summer. Summer was absolutely incredible this year. For one, we had the UK heatwave, which lasted absolutely fucking ages. It was literally like being in Portugal. It was extremely hot, extremely summery. In the UK, we don't really get a lot of hot weather, so that was absolutely beautiful. And in turn with that, we had the World Cup as well. England actually playing well for once, which I'm surprised happened, but we got really fucking far. So the hot weather coupled with the World Cup, coupled with going out drinking and finishing exams and school and all of that shit, was absolutely incredible. The music as well, I always remember listening to all of these songs walking down to the pub when it was like a sort of, you know, 7, 8 o'clock summer evening where it's still a little bit hot, but there's a nice gentle breeze. Everyone was in good spirits, everyone was happy to have finished their exams, and it was just a fucking good summer. I can't extend my gratitude towards God or whoever the fuck decided this summer, because it was a damn good experience. But now I think it's only right to talk about the bad, because the bad is usually what a lot of people like to listen to, because everyone is extremely pessimistic on YouTube. I'm joking, calm down, I'll get onto that in a second. But first up, I talked about this in my 2016 video, I'm going to talk about it in the 2018 video, and that is the memes. The memes were a definite mixed bunch. It feels like January of 2018 was about 7 years ago, because honestly the whole Tide Pod bollocks was apparently only January, and that feels like a century ago. We had some truly disgusting memes this year. The prime example would be something like Ugandan Knuckles, which I'm not going to get onto, but it was an absolutely fucking disgusting meme. There are a lot of other ones which are just incredibly poor, but towards the end of the year we got some slightly better ones. You know, Chungus at the moment, I like a good old Chungus. I like thick memes, you know, that's the kind of stuff which I like. But 2018 in terms of memes was definitely the year of irony, the year of taking the piss. I mean, the explosion of the word epic and all of the memes which have come out saying this is epic, epic gamer moment, Peter does epic gamer moment, you know, shit like that. At first I found it quite funny and I humoured it, because for once these sort of lower key ironic kind of memes we're getting a bit more mainstream, and generally those are the only ones which kind of tickle me, because memes outside of that are just a little too predictable and basic. I sound really fucking autistic at the moment, but you know what I mean. But then after a while I did get a little bored with seeing all the epic comments which kept on going on and on and on and on, and it did get a bit boring. Like most things with memes, they do just get extremely stale after a while. But compared to 2017 and 2016 especially, I will link my 2016 video in the description just so you can get an idea of how upset I was by the disgusting memes that were Damn Daniel and the Harambe stuff. But then you had, of course, Big Smoke, and Big Smoke was the best meme of 2016. But if we bring it back to the present, memes, they were a mixed bunch. I definitely could say that they started off fairly bad, went quite good, then we get a little bit lower down, but ultimately we have left on a high, and I'm happy about that. But there is one big thing, one big genre defining trait of 2018 which cannot be skipped, like how you can't skip Harambe and Damn Daniel in 2016, and that is of course Battle Royale. And especially Fortnite. 2018 just feels like the longest fucking year on record. It feels like there has been so much that has happened in this year. I can't believe it was only 365 days. It feels like about 4 years have been fit into one single year. But 2018 and Battle Royale are two things which are going to come together, make a nice little love child, and will be placed in some kind of museum on a podium for future generations to look at. Because Fortnite or Minecraft 2 exploded this year, and ever since then we have had a replacement for Minecraft. Instead of 9 and 10 year olds playing Minecraft and screaming over diamonds, we instead have 9 or 10 year olds playing Fortnite and screaming at other 9 and 10 year olds for them getting game ended. I actually started off kind of liking Fortnite, and I will talk about this because a friend which I used to speak to probably around like February or March of 2018 actually started playing Fortnite, and this is when Fortnite was a lot lower key. This is when PUBG was like the only sort of game which you could play, and I remember him telling me like, this is miles better, it's much more casual, it's not sort of you know, campy, you can build and stuff like that. So he was the OG, and he was the first one that kind of got me into Fortnite. And don't get me wrong, I do like it sometimes, I like playing it with the boys, but the hype around it is just, it's unjustified. Plain and simple, it is completely unjustified. From a developer perspective, you know, in terms of free updates, constant tweaks and map changes, and managing such a tumorous community, it is very impressive. But from a consumer side, I really don't see the hype around it. I guess it's just kind of the same thing as Minecraft, in terms of you're always going to have kids who hop on it, you're always going to have kids who pressure their mum to buy them it, or alternatively buy V-Bucks, and then in a few years time, or probably in a few months time really, Fortnite and hopefully Battle Royale as a genre will just kind of dip off. Because do I need to talk about Black Ops 4 and the fact that they got rid of a campaign in favour of a Battle Royale game mode? I really don't fucking want to, because it just upsets me so much. But Battle Royale is something which I think all of us will remember. I'm hoping it stays in 2018, or at least continues for, you know, a month in January. But that's it, I don't want to see it again. I want Minecraft Hunger Games to come back. I want fucking Roblox Choppy Wars to come back. Anything that isn't Fortnite, and especially Ninja, who I can't even begin to talk about how much I dislike this kid. Because ultimately, 2019 is going to be a year where we get rid of old stuff, we start new. There'll probably be some new stupid phase which a lot of people will get on, like how we had a brief phase of fidget spinners and Battle Royale and Cinnamon Challenge and the Harlem Shake. Everything comes and goes, and I can't fucking wait for Battle Royale to go, because it's killing creativity in terms of games. But I'm going to shut up now because I'm oversaturating it. And finally, the good old big bad wolf, which I want to talk about, the baddest of them all, is the year of sensitivity. The year of 2018 always, to me, has connotations of people getting upset, people saying that's offensive, people losing their jobs, history changing, games changing, all because of a political correct nature of society. We live in a society. But 2018 is most definitely one of the most sensitive years I think we've ever had. I don't know where this all began, I don't know where to start with this, but quite honestly, everything now is deemed as offensive. If you say there are two genders, you are ignorant. You give your opinion that someone might not agree with, and that's it, that's the end of you, you're done. Everyone has to get offended over everything. I think this has always been there, and I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, because it means that people are much more aware of, you know, discrimination and racism and sexism and all of that stuff. But the point is, people are just getting a little too carried away with it. I always think that when you get upset over Greg's having a man's name, or Gingerbread Man, or Santa being a white male, you don't have anything else to worry about. Because realistically, I'm sure people who are worrying about paying their bills, or, you know, trying to get food for their family, aren't worried about gingerbread men and not gingerbread persons. And this is why I always believe that those people on the extreme side of things, who want to change everything to make sure that no one is offended, so in essence Big Brother, quite simply have nothing else to do with their lives. Maybe there's just been an overexposure of it in the news, maybe this has always been here and no one has picked up on it, I don't know. But 2018 is the year where everyone got offended, and realistically, it's only going to get worse, because people are going to be brought up with it. People that are getting offended by everything are going to unfortunately have babies, and those babies will likely be socialised to also get offended by everything, and before you know it, we are living in 1984. But guys, I think that is a brief summary of 2018. I'm sure I missed a lot of stuff, but I do hope you enjoyed this different kind of video, which is something I haven't done in a while, but hopefully you liked it. Some of you might find this a bit weird, but it doesn't hurt to try out new things, I guess you could say. But guys, I just want to say thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then please do feel free to leave a like on it, and if you guys could also subscribe to MZK, then that'd be absolutely fantastic. And as always, I will see you guys on my next video. This is SkintBoot, signing out.